Right. Good morning, guys. It is March 2nd, I think, somewhere in there. Um, Anyways, beautiful day. A little better than the other day when I was out here. I don't need the tarp today. But anyways, I was putting out some compost for our wildflower bed, just to kind of raise it up and add some fertility to it. And we had just a tiny bit left of compost that had been there for probably 5-6 months anyways. So as I was taking it out, I was screening out the big stuff, and what I found, we'll cut in right here. So yeah, that was from probably this much compost came up through the ground, and it was all kind of interweaved in there. It was just, I wish I took a picture, but it was too wet and miserable at that point. So I took I screened it out and put it off to the side. So the experiment of having just this one palleted is toast. I just went to my favorite hardware store today and got a pallet from them, and then just did the same thing. I'll take you in real quick and show you what I'm gonna do, and then something that I'm not gonna do. All right, so yeah, super basic. Just went by the hardware store, picked up a pallet, took off the boards from underneath, and then just ripped them to fit the gaps in the top, and then just stuffed in some wood on both sides. So this is going to be where our finished compost is. Once it's finished flipping from here to here and back a few times, and it's cooled off, it'll come and reside here. So this is the one that I really want to keep the roots out of, and because the compost we took out of there, yeah, it had roots all through it. So we have a pallet under this one, and then we have no pallet under this one, and I'm actually going to leave it with no pallet, because as I've flipped the piles, I've noticed a whole bunch of, earthworms and centipedes and other insects and life in there. So what I'm going to do is actually this is where we always start our new pile. I'll actually try to encourage things to come up into the pile, and then as I flip them and they mature and finish, then they'll go into that pile, or yeah, into that stall. So I know it's kind of a crazy idea, but I'm thinking that maybe it might be a benefit to have some insects and worms and stuff in there. So we'll see. I mean, if I flip it and there's just a ton of roots coming up, then I might reconsider, but for now I think I'm just going to stick with that and see how it goes. Right, so I just flipped it over into the new one, and yeah, there's tons and tons of worms in there, so it's a pretty good indication that this stuff isn't close to done yet. But yeah, it's nicely broken down. If we have to use it, we'll use it as mulch / compost, and I think we're definitely going to try some potatoes in that stuff just to see, and then yeah, this makes it so much easier to flip when you're not picking up the stuff at the bottom, or even knowing where the bottom is. So and then yeah, found that road sign today, thought I could put it to good use to replace slowly the chicken wire that I got. And if I find any boards or plywood or anything like that, I'm gonna board everything up. It just makes it way easier, and I really don't think it's super necessary to get a whole bunch of air to it. It kind of does it on its own, and I flip it enough that it gets tons of that. So yeah, it's gonna sit there. I would like to say until we use it, but knowing me, I probably will flip it, but who knows. So, and then I'm just gonna flip that one into this one, and yeah, awesome. Yeah, so this brand new one is just sitting at 80. I'm not expecting much from this pile. Like I said a couple weeks ago, it's super small, and we actually threw a bunch of sod and stuff in there. So the carbon slash nitrogen ratio is probably not optimal, and there obviously is a lot of dirt in there as well. So I'm just gonna keep flipping it around and just kind of do maybe the slow compost with it until we get a bunch of nitrogen and some nice carbon. So yeah, just gonna flip that as well. Weird. In the middle of the compost pile.